Skull Nation, brace yourselves because today's Minnesota Vikings news might just hit you right in the heart. What if I told you there's a hometown kid, born and raised minutes from US Bank Stadium, who not only dreams of wearing purple and gold, but believes he's built like some of the greatest running backs in NFL history? Stay with me because this story about Emmett Johnson could change everything about the future of the Vikings backfield. The Minnesota Vikings have a massive question mark at running back heading into the offseason. We're talking about explosiveness, identity, cap space decisions, and the future of this offense under Kevin O'Connell. And suddenly, a name is rising that feels almost too perfect to be real. Emmett Johnson, a Minneapolis native, has openly said he would love to come home. And Vikings fans, when you hear what he said about modeling his game after Adrian Peterson and comparing himself to Barry Sanders, you're going to want to talk about this in the comments. Let's set the stage properly. Johnson grew up in the inner city of Minneapolis, just 10 to 15 minutes away from US Bank Stadium. He attended Academy of Holy Angels in Richfield and became one of the most electric high school players the state has ever seen. In 2021, he won Minnesota's Mr. Football Award after rushing for more than 2,500 yards and scoring 42 touchdowns in a single season. That's not hype, that's dominance. Over his high school career, he finished just shy of 5,000 rushing yards and nearly 6,000 all-purpose yards. And here's where the story gets even more dramatic. The hometown Gophers did not offer him a scholarship. At the time, Minnesota was stacked at running back, and Johnson ended up committing to Nebraska, the only major conference program to offer him. Fast forward to college, and Johnson exploded in 2025 with the Cornhuskers. He rushed for 1,451 yards and 12 touchdowns, while also adding 46 receptions for 370 yards and 3 scores through the air. That's a complete, modern NFL running back profile. He's not just a downhill bruiser. He's not just a pass-catching specialist. He's balanced, versatile, and productive, the kind of weapon that fits perfectly into the Minnesota Vikings offense built around tempo and spacing. And here's the part that should make every Vikings fan lean forward. Johnson confirmed he met with the Vikings at the NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. He had a formal meeting with Kevin O'Connell himself. When asked what it would mean to play for Minnesota, he didn't hesitate. He said it would mean a lot. He talked about growing up a Vikings fan. He talked about living minutes from the stadium. He talked about wanting to go back home. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Aaron Jones carries a projected $14.5 million cap hit in 2026, and his future with the Vikings isn't guaranteed. If the front office looks to get younger and cheaper at the position, the timing of Johnson's emergence couldn't be more interesting. Imagine pairing a cost-controlled rookie contract with elite upside. Imagine injecting youth and hunger into the backfield. This isn't just sentimental, this is strategic. But wait until you hear how confident this kid is in his game. Johnson compared himself to Barry Sanders. He mentioned LaDainian Tomlinson. He even brought up Christian McCaffrey for his receiving ability. And yes, Vikings fans, he also referenced Adrian Peterson. He said he modeled his game after AP's downhill violence and finishing power. He believes the physicality in his running style comes directly from watching Peterson dominate in purple. Now, let's be clear. Comparing yourself to legends doesn't mean you are a legend. But what it does show is confidence, awareness of style, and a belief that he belongs at the next level. According to Mel Kiper Jr., Johnson is ranked as the third best running back in the draft class, behind Notre Dame's Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. That puts him firmly in early round conversation. So here's the big question for Skull Nation. Would you spend a premium draft pick on a running back? Or would you prioritize defense, offensive line, or another position of need? The modern NFL often devalues running backs in the draft. But we've also seen what a dynamic playmaker can do for an offense. Look at what Christian McCaffrey did for San Francisco. Look at how Detroit's run game transformed their identity. Kevin O'Connell's system thrives when the run game forces defenses to respect play action. If Johnson can be both explosive and reliable in the passing game, he fits the blueprint almost perfectly. And let's not ignore the emotional factor. A Minneapolis kid, overlooked locally, proving himself at Nebraska, and potentially coming home to revive the Vikings' rushing attack? That's the kind of storyline that energizes a fan base. But emotion can't override evaluation. The Vikings front office will analyze vision, burst, pass protection, durability, and ball security. They'll study every snap before making that decision. Still, the fact that Johnson has already met with Minnesota tells us he's on their radar. This isn't just fan fiction. This is real pre-draft groundwork happening behind the scenes. So I want to hear from you, Vikings fans. If Emmett Johnson is available when Minnesota is on the clock, do you pull the trigger? Do you bring the hometown star home and start a new era in the backfield? Drop your thoughts below. Would he be the next great Vikings running back? Or is this just pre-draft hype season talking? If you love staying up to date with Minnesota Vikings news, breaking draft analysis, and passionate Vikings conversations just like this, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with every member of Skull Nation. The future of the Vikings might be closer to home than we ever imagined. Skull.